Hi, as you can see from the intro video, I'm adding a lot of 30-second notes to the hi-hat. What this does is add a lot of flavour and intrigue and spice into rhythms you already know, and gives a lovely little shimmer on the top end of the hi-hats and creates a lot more interest. So the first thing to do to learn these 30-second notes is to first hear how they sound and learn how to count them. So if we play 16th notes with our right hand, that's 4 notes to each downbeat, and then interject the left hand to fill in the gaps, and that will create the 30-second notes, making 8 notes to the beat. So this is how you do that in a nice slow tempo. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2. So what we're doing is literally just filling in all the 16th notes to make the 30-second notes with the left hand. Now that you can hear the 16th notes on the right hand and then doubling it up by interjecting the left hand and alternating the notes to make the 30-second notes, let's play the 16th notes alternating sticking, that's right, left, and then double that sticking up so we can hear it all in alternating sticking, and that would sound like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E, 2 E and 16ths. Now 30 seconds. The next stage is to start using small parts of the 30-second notes, not playing it for a whole bar because that's sometimes just too much and too busy. So just using it for 1 beat or half a beat. So the first exercise, let's take the 30-second notes and put it on the 4 end of the bar, sounding like this for 4 30-second notes. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E, 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. Now let's do the same thing and let's move it 1/2 beat earlier. So on the 4 of the beat, we'll put 4 30-second notes. Sounds like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. So all we're doing here is moving the 30-second notes in little half-beat gaps into different areas of the beat. The next one is just to do it for 1 beat. So let's do the whole beat of beat 4 as the full part of 30-second notes. That sounds like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. Now that we can hear the 30-second notes, let's put it into a basic groove with, let's say, the bass drum on the 1 and 3, the snare on the 2 and 4, and 16th note hi-hat. So a real simple groove like this. Boom, boom, boom. And then all we're going to do is put little bits, little tiny flavors of the 30-second notes in for half a beat or for 1 beat in different parts of the bar, just giving some real nice flavor and a real nice spice to the top end of the hi-hats in the groove. So we can sit in the car here and we're off the kit and we can practice these exercises. On this pattern, we're just going to put 4 30-second notes on the 4 end of the bar, and that sounds like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E, 4 E and Now let's move those 30-second notes onto the 3rd beat of the pattern, and that sounds like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E, 3 E and 4 E On this pattern, we're now going to move the 30-second notes onto the 3 and going into the snare drum, and that sounds like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and boom tat boom tat boom tat boom tat. On this pattern, we're going to play 8 30-second notes in a row. So from the 3rd beat to the 4th beat, we're going to play a group of 8 30-second notes. And that sounds like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and boom tat boom tat boom tat boom tat. On this pattern, let's use 2 lots of 30-second notes within the groove. So going into the 3rd beat and into the 4th beat. That sounds like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and boom tat boom tat boom tat boom tat. Another technique that's really useful for 30-second notes, especially at faster tempos, is to play the 30-second notes as doubles. This gives you a much smoother feel at faster tempo, especially when your singles start tightening up and you can't quite get to them. If you have a good double stroke roll, you'll have no problem throwing these into your hi-hat patterns. So basically what you're doing is you're playing the alternating 16th notes between your right and left hand, and then you're keeping that same arm motion, but just playing sort of 2 strokes for 1. So it's got a really nice relaxed feel like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and so as you can see, my arm motion doesn't change. I'm keeping that really simple 16th note pattern. So if we speed it up and then improvise with these 30-second notes by moving them in different parts of the bar line and across the different beats, you can in the end improvise with the 30-second notes on the hi-hat while you're keeping a really solid drum groove. That sounds something like this. Ka, boom, 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 ka. Now that you've got a really good handle on the 30-second notes using the single stroke technique and the double stroke technique, start putting these 2 techniques together, put them into all your favourite drum grooves and add a really nice flavour to the top end of your playing, while still keeping the kick and snare really solid and pushing the groove ahead. These little 30-second notes just add a little bit of spice and a bit more flavour. Again, use this really sparingly. Don't overdo it. Just occasionally throw it in. It'll just add a little bit more interest to your grooves and really make things feel that much more exciting.